United States President Joe Biden had harsh words to describe Trump's ally Republicans on Thursday as he held his first political rally in the run-up to November elections, accusing the group of embracing violence and hatred and saying they hedged towards semi-fascism at an earlier fundraising stop. Biden, kicking off a coast-to-coast tour, is looking to lend his support to Democratic candidates and prevent those Republicans from taking control of Congress by touting the sharp differences between the two major United States parties and calling on independent and Republican voters for help.
That's why Donald Trump isn't just a former president, he is a defeated former president. And it's not hyperbole. Now you need to vote to literally save democracy again. Look, I believe America's at a genuine inflection point. It occurs every 6 or 7 generations in world history. One of the moments that changes everything. And Americans are going to have to choose. You must choose. Will we be a country that moves forward or backward? Will we build a future or obsess over the past? Will we be a nation of unity, of hope, of optimism? Not a nation of anger, violence, hatred, and division. Trump and the extreme MAGA Republicans have made their choice to go backwards, full of anger, violence, hate, and division. But we've chosen a different path. Forward, the future, unity, hope, and optimism. I mean this sincerely. We choose to build a better America. This fall, there will be a choice between these two visions. And we must take our case to the American people and be crystal clear about it. There's no question. It's been a hard few years. When I came to office, we were facing a once-in-a-century pandemic. A million people died. 1 million people. And over 9 million people get up in the morning and sit at that breakfast table or the dinner table with an empty chair because of that. Historic joblessness. Businesses struggling to stay open. So much lost learning for our kids in school. But we've come a long way. In 18 months, COVID no longer controls our lives. A record number of Americans are working, 10 million since I came to office. Businesses are growing. Our schools are open. And folks, it just didn't happen. It took a lot of hard work. It took a plan that we stuck to, even in the face of unrelenting attacks from the most powerful special interests in the country. And the whole notion of the burn it all down politics of MAGA Republicans continues to be a drumbeat. But that's all. No. Let him go. Let him go. Let him go. That's okay. Folks, ignorance knows no boundaries. But we never gave up. We never gave in. And we're delivering for the American people now. And now, even our critics have been forced to acknowledge real progress. A record of big accomplishments, matched by few administrations in history. 10 million new jobs, more than we've ever created before at this point in anyone's presidency. 3.5% unemployment rate, near record low in the history of this country. A 15% drop in child poverty compared to 2 years ago. And more than 220 million Americans vaccinated. Record small business creation. A big reason for all this is the American Rescue Plan that I signed into law shortly after I took office with the help of your members of Congress. That plan took America from economic crisis to economic recovery. And not a single Republican, not one single one, voted for it. Not one. Not a single Republican. We also passed the once-in-a-generation investments in our nation's roads, highways, bridges, railroads, ports, airports, clean water systems, high-speed rail, internet. The biggest investment in America since President Eisenhower's Interstate Highway Act. We got a little help. We did get some help from some Republicans passing the bill, and I'm thankful for that. But the truth is, there's a lot more Republicans taking credit for a bill that they actually voted against. You see it all over America. Right here in Maryland, you got a Republican Congress named Andy Harrison. Now, old Andy's out there touting funding for a key dredging project in his district that he voted against. It's happening all over. Maybe he'll, as they say in Southern Delaware, maybe the boy will get some religion. Look, folks, we passed the CHIPS and Science Act, a groundbreaking law. We're going to once again manufacture semiconductors as we invented that power everything in our lives right here in America. This law will create tens of thousands of construction jobs, bring billions of dollars in investment to America, and revitalize American manufacturing. But look, folks, it means we're going to build the future in America. With American workers, in American factories, producing American-made products. We took on the NRA. We took on the NRA, and we beat them. We just passed the first significant gun safety legislation in 30 years in this country. And I promise you, we're not stopping here. I'm determined to ban assault weapons in this country. I did it once before, and we will do it again. We're going to do it for those families in Buffalo, Uvalde, Newtown, El Paso, Parkland, Charleston, Las Vegas, Orlando. I've been to almost every one of those places to meet with those parents. We all got to do it. We're going to do it for all our kids. Gunned down on our streets every single day, every day that never make the national news. Folks, we're going to do it for your kids who are learning how to read and write in school instead of learning how to duck and cover. So this November, we have to ask every candidate, are you for banning assault weapons or not? And if you're not, we're not going to vote for you. Period. In my State of the Union address, I put forward a unity agenda that included taking care of our veterans. Especially our veterans who've been exposed to burn pits like my son, who got the Conspicuous Service Medal, as well as, I don't want to start talking about my son, but he spent a year in Iraq. He was only about 200 yards from one of the burn pits. These pits the size of football fields, 8, 9, or 10 feet deep in Afghanistan and Iraq. Incinerated, that incinerates wastes of war, tires, poisonous chemical, jet fuels, and so much more. So much more. Our soldiers breathed in that toxic smoke and came home with headaches, numbness, dizziness, cancer. I just signed into law the PAC Act to take care of those veterans who were exposed to those burn pits. It's the least we could do for them. I believe a nation has many obligations, but only one truly sacred obligation: to equip the women and men we send to battle and take care of them and their families when they return home. Army Captain Westmore understands that. He saw it like my son saw it. We've done all this, but then our critics say inflation. You mean the global inflation caused by the worldwide pandemic and Putin's war in Ukraine? We're making progress. Since I took office this year, gas prices are down more than $1 this summer, and we're going to keep it going down. I just signed into law the historic Inflation Reduction Act. And it wasn't easy. We had to take on the big drug companies to pass this bill, and we did. For decades, Big Pharma fought to block giving Medicare the power to negotiate lower drug prices. And for decades, Big Pharma won. But not this year. The American people won, and Big Pharma lost. Medicare now has the power to negotiate for lower prescription drug prices. Seniors will see their out-of-pocket costs for drugs limited to no more than $2,000 a year, no matter how many drugs they need take for cancer or other diseases. Limit. If you're on Medicare and have diabetes, your cost of insulin will be capped at $35 a month. We also included a provision that would have allowed anyone with diabetes, including those kids and their families,